My name is Rag Reynolds and welcome back to Medium Rare. And today, folks, we need to have a very serious conversation about RealStream news, about what's going on with RealStream news and his alleged victim, Amber Clements. And now, folks, the reason I'm talking about this today is because I feel as though I have a responsibility to talk about this. I have an obligation to inform as many people as I can about these new developments. If I didn't speak about this subject right now, if I didn't speak about this, then where are my principles? Where is my integrity? As much as I dislike, as much as I loathe, as much as I think RealStream News is a despicable human being, still to this day, I would have no principles, I would have no integrity, just like him. And so what has happened, if you are not yet aware, is Amber Clements, the girl who claimed that RealStream News had taken advantage of her, she has basically recently got into contact with RealStream News. She has been on a stream with him and she has been sending direct messages back and forth. And now the main thing that has come out of all of this is the direct message that I'm going to show you now. So as you can see here in this direct message, Amber is saying that RSN did not rape her. It was more coercion rather than rape. And that her mother had controlled her and pressed her to saying that he had raped her. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've been quite conflicted ever since reading that direct message. I've been very conflicted about what to think. Because on one hand, you have this girl who has been crying rape for a long time now. Someone that I listened to, someone I gave a platform to, along with many other YouTubers. People have been sharing this girl's story and using it as an example of how terrible RealStream News is. Not that there's a shortage of examples, there are other examples as well, but this has been one of the main ones used against him. And now we have reached a point where she has actually said, well, he didn't rape me. And if that is the case, Amber, that is reprehensible. That is disgusting and you should be ashamed of yourself. I hope that no one in your life ever trusts you or listens to you ever again, if that is the case. If this is true and he was completely innocent of all wrongdoing, then shame on you. That is disgusting and I don't want any contact with you ever again. That's horrible. It's disgusting. Even no one deserves to have such horrible false accusations filed against them. I don't care if you're Hitler. I don't care if you're the devil. No one should have to deal with those sort of lies. It's disgusting, and me and many others put our reputations, put ourselves out on the line for you. And because we thought that this man had genuinely taken advantage of you. And for you to betray our trust and all these other people's trust, and for you to try and ruin someone's life that way, it's despicable. Absolutely despicable. However, that's if that is the case. That's if that's where the story ends. But I am conflicted, as I said. Because when you read this screenshot, we'll look at this DM again, here it is. She doesn't just say, oh, RealStream News doesn't rape me. She also adds in a very specific thing, and we're going to ignore the part about her mother. I think it's a bit weird to put all the blame on your mother. I'm just going to ignore that entirely for now. But this other part, it was more coercion. Amber saying, no, he didn't rape me. He coerced me. And so, if she is seemingly sticking by this story, then in my view, nothing has really changed. What has changed? If we look back to the beginning of this story, where it all began, RSN has clips of Amber behind the scenes on the phone with her mother saying, it's not rape, Mum, it's not rape. And her mum's having this back and forth with her. It was other people who were worried about Amber after this stream that she did with RSN took place. Because what happened on this stream, we all saw it. RealStream News himself admitted that Amber said no 2 times before then giving in and saying, okay, do whatever you want. Now, I might shock you with what I'm going to say now, and that's okay with me, but if I, at the start of all this, was just to have heard Amber's testimony, if I was just going on Amber's word about what happened here, I probably would not have believed her. She's not a credible person. She's got a history of telling a lot of tall stories. She's not very stable. She's a troubled young girl. That's not necessarily knocking on her, saying she's horrible or anything. That's the way things are. And so I would not have looked at her as a credible person to give some sort of statement like this. I would not have just taken her word blindly, like maybe some others would have. The thing that convinced me was RealStream News himself. It was RealStream News who convinced me that he had done something to this girl. She didn't convince me. He did. And he did it on a live stream where he sat next to her and said out loud, he admitted that she said no twice. To me, it no longer matters at that point what Amber or he says or does or what their intentions are otherwise. They both have agreed and acknowledged that no was said twice before they had sex, yet it happened anyway. By definition, that would be coercion, which is technically a form of rape. And since the start, that has always been what I've said. I have said since the start, since my first video on this situation, I've said this seems like Amber has been coerced into sex. And I've been very, very careful to say that since the start. I was always very specific to say she was coerced, which is technically a form of rape. And now the reason I bring that up is because this screenshot from Amber, yes, she says, I lied, I wasn't raped. But in the next breath, she says, but I was coerced. And so to me, when I read this screenshot, I don't come away thinking like a lot of other people do. A lot of people are coming away thinking, oh my God, this proves Amber was lying and it was all for the attention, it was this and that, and she was trying to ruin his life. But again, I'm conflicted. Because when I read this, you could read it that way. But you can also read it in the way that Amber's just not very bright. Just like how CJ's not very bright. The two of them are not very bright. They're not very sharp tools. And so I don't think Amber actually understands what coercion is, or that coercion is rape. And I also think that's why we had this conversation in the first place. That's why RSN has these recorded conversations of Amber speaking to her mother saying it's not rape. Because in Amber's mind, she didn't think it was rape. She doesn't think sexual coercion is rape. She doesn't understand it. And maybe I'm just being too optimistic here on her part. Maybe I'm just trying to give her excuses. Let me know in those comments down below if you think I am. But I'm just trying to look at this from all possible angles here. Because when I read that screenshot, I am very, very conflicted. It does not just straight up say to me, oh, she's lied, that's it, nothing happened. But it also doesn't say to me that, oh, this definitely happened to her. I have a doubt in my mind now, both ways. And I'm not sure which way I'm lying. I'm almost in the middle of this now. Before this, I was pretty convinced that something had happened there and that she had been harmed. But now I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think this screenshot clears RSN like other people seem to think it does. Because as I keep saying, Amber specifically says in this screenshot that she was coerced. She says she wasn't raped, but she says she was coerced. And I think she maybe just does not understand that those are technically the same thing. But let's just say for a second, let's just take out the coercion part. And let's just assume that Amber lied. Let's assume that RSN did not violate this woman. That he did nothing wrong. RSN is not now suddenly a great guy. He is not now suddenly cleared of all the bad things he has done. He has a long list of terrible things that he has done. One of them not being true does not absolve him of all his other sins. Even in the Amber situation itself, just because no rape occurred, that does not mean that the situation was okay. CJ himself is on record saying that what happened was wrong. And so when we look back at the situation, you have to remember, this is a man with a YouTube channel, a growing YouTube channel, who invites out a young girl. And let me add, this is not the first girl he tried to invite out. Amber was not the first. There were many before her he tried to invite out and they all rejected him. He then invites Amber out, who is 20 years old, not legally allowed to drink, many years younger than him. They get there and they're supposed to be working together. They're supposed to be doing some sort of streaming project. And so, under a contract, he has her sign a contract and an NDA is inside this contract. The first night they get there, she's signing this contract. Okay, you're going to work together. But strange, you're now staying in a hotel with your employee? Oh, and now you're going to let her drink the alcohol in the hotel room. That's what he did. He had supplied the hotel room, which had alcohol in it, and she's drinking this alcohol on stream, might I add, despite being underage. And then he has sex with this girl. Maybe no rape occurred, but either way, that is straight up predatory behaviour. That's not right. You can't fly someone out to you, have them sign a work contract and NDA, and then proceed to have sex with them. There is a power dynamic there. It is wrong. And so, even without the rape, he was still in a horrible situation. That was still completely wrong of him to do. Obviously, it's nowhere near as bad as the rape. Nowhere near. I mean, we're not even talking the same universe here. But it still does speak to the kind of guy he is. There are a lot of people acting as though CJ RSN, he is now in the clear. Oh, his name is cleared. Everything's all good. And people have been slandering him and yada yada. But it's not that simple. The guy has done bad thing after bad thing after bad thing. One of those bad things not being so bad as it seemed to be at first doesn't suddenly mean he's absolved of all the rest of that. He has still spent a long time exploiting his fans for money, to fuel his drug habit. That is something we have tons of evidence to prove. He would tell his fans, he would tell people, his friends, hey, I need to pay this bill. I need this money for this. I need this. Can I borrow this money? Oh, I need donations for this. Meanwhile, it turns out he's not spending it on what he's saying he's spending it on. He's actually spending it on drugs. And we have proof of him even on a call with his drug dealer during a live stream because he forgot to mute his microphone. Let's not forget when he platformed Maxie's stalker. Let us not forget his infamous revenge porn live stream. Let us not forget all the false flags he has sent out against videos he doesn't like. Let us not forget the time he milked his grandmother's medical emergency. He made out as though someone had called the cops on him, saying he was going to kill his grandma. When in reality, that's not what happened. She was just having a bit of a medical emergency and he decided to go full Onision and start filming things. Let us not forget the Harvard Chickie situation, which we'll not get into right now. The list of things this man has done is near endless. The man is not a good man, he is not a kind man, and he does not have a good heart. He is a scumbag. Is he a rapist scumbag? I'm doubting that. I am in between and I don't know what to think at the moment. As I said, I am conflicted. I'm not sure what to think. I could go either of the two ways looking at that screenshot. But the man remains a scumbag nonetheless. The question just becomes, how much of a scumbag is this man? Is he a huge scumbag? Or is he a really huge scumbag? I will be linking this video in the description or in the pinned comment of all of my RSN videos where I speak about the Amber situation. Because I want to make sure that everyone sees this video. I want to make sure as many people as possible who have heard about this stuff sees this video, so that they can hear about these developments and make up their own mind. I said it in the start of my first part of my 3-part RSN docuseries. I said the Amber situation is very controversial and people even who hate RSN, fall one of two ways on it. Some people believe it and some people don't. Make up your own mind. And I believe that I was fair, I believe I was just, and I believe I showed as much of his side as I possibly could in my series. And so for all those reasons, these videos will be remaining up, but I will also be setting the record straight. I'll be adding this extra information via linking to this video. But for now, I remain unconvinced either way. I'm very conflicted. But please, folks, let me know what you're thinking in those comments down below, because I truly am flabbergasted. I don't know what to think. Everything Amber does leads me to believe that she is a liar. The problem I am having is that RSN himself is the one who actually convinced me that he did something wrong. And you know what? Maybe that's just because he is so goddamn stupid that he somehow managed to convince hundreds, if not thousands of people that he raped someone when he didn't. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he was so stupid that he somehow managed to convince me he did a horrible thing when he didn't. It's maybe a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Anyway, folks, until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds, and this was Medium Rare.